Madam President, I'm here to talk briefly today about food safety, something that I care deeply about. As you probably know, the last few food epidemics, from the jalapeno peppers to the peanut butter, would not have been solved except for the hard work of the University of Minnesota and the Minnesota Department of Health, which is a model for how we can solve these epidemics. 13 people died with the last peanut butter one. It was only when someone died and was sick in Minnesota that it got solved. So clearly, while we're proud of the work we do, we have to bring this model out nationally. I'm proud to be doing a bill with Senator Chambliss to try to bring this model out for the rest of the country. I do know today the Washington Post had a strong editorial recommending that we do something to improve the food safety of this nation. I think it's worth reading that editorial. They're talking about the need to get something done here. Just this week, the White House came out with their food safety recommendations, which include, as I said, building a new national traceback and response system, including clearer industry guidance, a new unified incident command system, and improved use of technology to deliver individuals' food safety alerts to consumers. We can truly do better. There's also a bill that looks at, well, the bill that Senator Chambliss and I focuses on the end of this problem when a foodborne illness is out there. There's also a bill to prevent it in the first place, a bipartisan bill in the Senate. Senator Dick Durbin is heading up that bill, along with Judd Gregg, Ted Kennedy, Richard Burr, Chris Dodd, Lamar Alexander, Senator Chambliss, and I are also sponsors of that legislation. The idea of that legislation is to beef up the FDA, to improve our capacity to prevent food safety problems. As we all know, the tragedy that happened in Georgia, where the information didn't get to the right people, where inspectors had come in or not enough inspectors had come in, the information didn't get up the food chain, so to say. No one knew what was going on, that there were violations at this plant, and 13 people died. That has to change. We also have to improve our capacity to detect and respond with inspection, surveillance, traceability. We also have in this bill ways to enhance the U.S. food defense capabilities and to increase FDA resources. We've seen just recently the problem with the refrigerated cookie dough manufactured by Nestle, so we know that this problem has not ended, and it continues on and on and on. So, Madam President, I'm urging the Senate to take action, first of all, on the Food Safety Modernization Act of 2009, the bipartisan bill to give the FDA more tools to do what it does. We already see in the Department of Agriculture the good work the Agriculture Department does with certain foods, and we need to build on this work and make sure that we are able to catch these things before they get out into the food stream for the people of our country. Secondly, when it does happen, when salmonella or something does get out there, we have to respond quickly. So I also urge the Senate, as part of these FDA measures, to pass the Food Safety Rapid Response Act, the bill that I have with Senator Chambliss. This is a smart bill. It uses these models of epidemiology tools. It should be used all over the country. It just shouldn't have to be the case that people have to get sick in Minnesota before we solve this problem. According to the Center for Disease Control, foodborne disease causes about 76 million illnesses, 325,000 hospitalizations, and 5,000 deaths in the United States every year. We shouldn't be waiting. We should be acting on these two bills. We have a full agenda, but we have before us two bills that have bipartisan support. We haven't heard people attacking them. They are the way to go. We've got food industry people involved in both of these bills that also want to get them passed. Obviously, they don't want to keep losing profits because of food scares all over this country. Let's get these bills done, and let's improve our food safety system in the United States of America. Thank you, Madam President, and I yield the floor.